Good morning, good morning, good morning. Glad you're all here. This is day number 383. And my name is Jordan Oveas. I'm the founder of dayNumber. I've been documenting my journey for the last 383 days here on YouTube, and since day number 170 on my own platform that I created called dayNumber. And it's a platform for early stage founders to document their journey honestly, and it's queryable. You can actually ask AI to read your logs to give you insight, feedback, and also allow others to read it and get insight into your journey. Ultimately, to help you to fulfill your mission with what you're building. And usually, I talk about what happened the day before and today, and then also, share a topic regarding that's related to it. And the topic that I said today was, if you apply this one thing as a founder, you will survive, right? Or you need to apply this one thing as a founder, or you won't survive. That's what I said, in order to survive. And where I'm taking this is basically yesterday. All day. Well, not all day. Majority of the day I was trying to figure out how to, basically find another option from Claude. Because Claude, when I was using it to build, especially my client's website, I ran out of the tokens for the week, and I'm using like a pro plan, which is the $29 a month Canadian plan. And I ended up burning through all my tokens by like Wednesday, basically, because I was trying to get it to do things that I realized late last night, that I could do it myself. And then this goes back to essentially what I was talking about with Elon Musk, where you need to apply first principles thinking. What do, going back to the laws of physics, what does it actually take in order to get this done? If it's taking excruciatingly long and stupidly long, idiotically long, or costing a lot more money than it should, then you need to question why. Why am I actually doing this? Is this actually required? Because what I realized yesterday is that I was trying to get, Claude to use my browser in Chrome, and then, copy and paste an HTML and edit a website for me, when I could have done that myself. All I had to do was just copy the HTML that it created and copy and paste it. And then I'm like, oh my God, I wasted all this money, probably $50 worth of credits. Okay. And when I could have just done it myself. So I'm glad that I realized that yesterday. Today, I'm going to work on that again. But we need to apply that. So whenever you're working on something as a founder, Noah Hayes, hello, welcome to the stream, guys. Whenever you're working on something, if something feels either too expensive or it's taking way too long, you need to drill down to why it's actually happening and question the requirement. If anybody else is telling you that, oh, it should take, they're giving you a deadline that seems ridiculous, 3 months, a year, 2 years to get it done, question it and say, why should it take that long? And that's why I think Elon Musk, he sets impossible targets, where it's he takes a 10-year goal and shrinks it down to 6 months now, and then he gets people to work maniacally hard, and so it's something that can also break companies, if you move too fast. But you have to move at a pace where there's a sense of urgency, right? If there's no sense of urgency, then you won't question things. You won't actually, you'll begin to scale things that are not even needed. And then after, it'll imagine, even yesterday, the website was down. That was for my client, and it was because of the host, which was Namecheap. And Namecheap seems to be a big company, and I'm like, what the hell? How can a site, imagine if Google was down for a day, everybody would go nuts. This is like YouTube. Imagine YouTube was down for a day, everybody would go nuts as well, right? So, hey man, Shingrath, hello, hey, what's going on? Welcome. Hey, is it Himanshu? I remember, I don't know if you're the same person, but are you on dayNumber as well? Well, I was wondering, because I remember there was somebody who was named Himanshu who uh, that actually logged on dayNumber like once or twice. If you are, that's welcome, welcome. And where's everybody tuning in from today? I'd love to know. I'm here with my boy Max, by the way. Welcome, welcome. What's up? What's up? So yeah, so that's the key, is like you need to apply this one principle, which is going back to first principles. So whenever you're building something, that's what I realized. I'm like, holy crap! Like yesterday, I'm just like, man, all I had to do was literally get I did this on Gemini. I got Gemini to look at the web page that I was building, look through the HTML, told it what I wanted, made the edits, copied that, pasted into the website editor WordPress that it was on, or it's and then it was done in like a couple minutes. So it's crazy. GG Gaming, hello halls. WSR, good morning, my bro. Time is it there? Right now it's 8:03 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. How about you guys? What time is it for you guys right now? What time is it for you guys? By the way, guys, thank you guys for all who subscribed before in the past. Finally got to 600 subscribers. I had this channel open since 2014. Didn't really do a whole lot with it for a while. I was posting for a bit. In 2016, I was posting quite a bit. 2015, 2016, but for those 2 years, and then I stopped for a long time actually. And then recently, I've been going live since day number 198. I'm on day number 383. And ever since I've been going live, it went from like just over 100 subscribers to like 500 subscribers, in the last, I don't know, a couple hundred days. 5:03 a.m. there. Are you on the West Coast? Like Vancouver, like along like Seattle, like in the US? Yeah, where's everyone tuning in from today? Where's everyone tuning in from today? I got my boy Max. He's trying to do his thing here. Looking for a spot. He's looking for the perfect spot, which is funny. He always does. Looks colder. Why ask? Oh, okay, yeah. Well, what do you call it? I'm just wearing a sweater. In Cali, Fresno. Okay, nice. I know in Cali though, even in the summertime, you guys, wear sweaters. I would go. Actually, back in 2007, I went to. I think it was the first time I ever went to California, and I was in. Where was I? Oh my gosh. Yeah, Orange County, like near Orange County, around that area. But yeah, there was a religious organization that I was part of called the BMP, but on the Pag-aaral. Yeah, it was go there every year for like a couple years, and I love California. I love it. And then I went back there in 2016 for 3 months. I was there for 3 months actually. I was staying mostly in LA, like Hollywood area. And yeah, it was good times, a lot of memories. That's where I actually met, like I went to Anaheim at one point in my trip, and I went to go meet Joel Bauer, who's a speaker trainer and also a professional magician. He actually made millions as a trade show magician, and I got to meet him, and he actually taught me some of the tricks I know today. I'm also a magician. I didn't tell you guys that if you don't know already. Funny enough, yesterday, I have a page. If you go on Gig Heaven, like for gigs, they basically promote me as a magician or host my page, and I got a random inquiry, and I got booked for a magic show yesterday. So that was cool. For September 3rd. So maybe I'll go live. Who knows, if they let me? That would be cool. It's for a company barbecue, but hey, if I can go live, I think that would be pretty cool. Last time I went live doing magic was, if you go on my homepage, that was back in March. So that was like, man, 5 months ago. So it's been a long time. God is good, broski. Have a blessed day. Got to get ready for work. All right, man. Have a great day. Remember, apply first principles, what I was talking about. Okay. And and what I mean by that is, if you're working somewhere or if you're working for your own company, or you're a founder, or you're just working on an assignment or project, you're in school, mostly for founders, is question all the requirements. That's the first step of the algorithm that Elon Musk used to build anything. And I should have known this when I was building my website, or not my website, the client's website, that if it was taking excruciatingly long, burning through an obscene amount of tokens, I should have known that I should have stopped and said, okay, what the hell is going on here? Why am I spending this much money, burning through this much tokens, to actually build something? And I'm glad I learned, because I set my mind to it yesterday. I said, okay, you know what? Somehow I'm just gonna fix the problem that I needed to fix, and then I ended up doing it. So that's all. That's the main thing. Is there's always a better way to do things. There's always room for improvement in anything that you're doing. And so the last thing you want to do is, scale and automate shit, right? Or crap, or things that don't work, right? I was thinking, oh man, I just gotta buy the Claude Max plan, for it was like a couple $100. I'm like, no, you don't need to fucking do that. You don't need to spend 5 times more money to build something that you could basically do for free. So question the requirements, guys. And I'm glad, and I think there's a reason for everything too, because I was considering getting more clients over the last few weeks, but I probably wouldn't have been ready for it. So there's a reason for everything as well. In your journey as a founder, you're gonna realize that it's not always gonna go the way that you expect. But you have to be ready to pivot, right? And that's why questioning what's necessary is important, because sometimes you need to pivot in order for you to move faster towards your goal. And that's why the mission and the vision is so important. And when I talk about every day, that's like the same thing I talk about almost every day, just saying it differently, is you have to know why it is that you're building. You have to know what it is that you're building and why, right? That's one of the key things that most people never answer. It's funny, I still remember this one voicemail that I got during I was making calls for the full-time job that I do still, which is raising money for charities. And one of the answering machines said, who are you and what do you want? The 2 questions that most people never answer their whole lives, right? And and I'm like, wow, it's true. Who are you? And we're trying to figure that out as we go along. Who are we becoming, right? And on this journey of the last 383 days, me documenting, that's really what this has been a discovery. I'm still discovering who I am, as a founder, as somebody, as a father, as a leader, as somebody who is serving humanity in whatever way. That's why I do these streams as well. It's like I never know who I'm gonna run into or who I'm gonna impact. Who's gonna actually watch this, years from now, right? Even if it's for myself. And that was really why I started doing it. It was for me to stay accountable to my goals and what it is that I'm doing, right? So you have to know why. You have to know your why. Okay, who are you? And then what do you want? Determine what you want, right? Most people don't even know what they want, right? Because sometimes they think that if they put themselves out there or they go after a goal and they fail, then they're a failure. But no, it's like it's a guiding. It's a form of guidance. If you have Google Maps opened or Waze or whatever directional map that you're using when you're traveling somewhere, you have to in order for it to guide you or tell you where to go, you have to put a destination, or else it's not gonna really guide you anywhere. You're just gonna drive and hope that you get somewhere. And if you don't know where you're going, you're not gonna go anywhere. You're just gonna be driving, right? Which is fine too. It's up to you. If you just want to be driving, then at least make that as an intention that you're just driving aimlessly, right? But if you know where you want to go, at least, and even if there's roadblocks or let's say there's a car accident or something blocking that path, or even if that end destination ends up being like, oh, that place was closed or was never open, well, at least you knew which direction you were going, and then you end up changing your mind after, or pivoting, right? In the beginning of this, day number 1, okay, my direction was I was gonna build a documentary series. I was gonna do a documentary series of going behind the scenes of founders who've gone from broke to billions, and impacting billions of lives. And my goal for 30 days, the first 30 days, was to secure a chairman of the board, right? I thought that was the way, because of Dan Pena. He talks about QLA, where you get to leverage a team of experts, people who have been there, done that. And then I had to pivot. And then I started creating a community on School, which I still have. If you guys want to join, it's dayNumber.io/community. And yeah, if you're a founder, I would love to have you there. But I never knew I was going to build an app. I always thought of myself as somebody who wasn't a builder. I was more of a salesperson and a visionary, and I'd work and I'd find people that could actually build, right? But when push came to shove, and I had somebody in my community that wanted to help me build, and then I didn't hear back from them. In December, I was like, you know what? Fuck it, I'm gonna do it myself. I'm gonna start building myself. So I'm like, okay, I have ChatGPT. I could do this, and I could vibe code, right? And anybody here can. You literally just have to set your mind to it. But the main thing that I was talking about is that, sorry guys, hang on a second. You guys could see, like, it's there's a lot of cars around. Max, hey, no. Max, no. Hey, Max, relax, boy, relax. It's like this truck here going by. Relax, Max. You okay, Maxie boy? Okay, here. Maxie boy, you okay? Yeah. Oh yeah, guys, if you're watching, make sure to like and subscribe. I go live every single day, and I usually talk about business, what happened each day, and ask me any questions, guys. Ask me any questions. If you have any questions about your journey, founder advice, whatever, I'll share what I can share with you from my own experience and what I've been learning from others. The main thing was I had a direction that I wanted to go in the beginning of the journey, 383 days ago, and I kept going. All right, and if you can see, I documented my journey every single day. So yeah, where are you guys all tuning in from today? That's some. I know we got Fresno here. Well, Fresno had to go. I got Canada myself. I'm just out of the Toronto area, Hamilton, Ontario, which is in between Toronto and Niagara Falls, like literally the halfway point, I think. But where are you guys all tuning in from today? And like I said, if you're a founder and you want support, love to support you. I created a community called dayNumber, and a platform to help you document your journey along the way. And AI can actually read your journey, give you insight, feedback, and also you could share that with others so that they can, have insight and feedback onto your journey, and see how they could support you as well, So, but we'd love to see you guys there. And thank you guys for tuning in. And remember, like I said, who do you want to become? Who are you? And who are you really is determined by. This question can go so deep, But if you want to take it as a surface level, in this world type of question, who are you becoming, right? Based on what your mission is and why you're building it. I think that's what really it comes down to, is like, what do you want and why, right? If you know what you want and why you want it, that will shape who you become in the process, right? Because you have to become that person in order to get what it is that you want. Because that person has what you want. And that's just another, version of you, right? So, So yeah, and you don't know how you're gonna get there. You know, all the books I read in the last 4 months, from Michael Dell's autobiography, Bill Gates' autobiography, Steve Jobs' biography, Elon Musk's biography, they all had an idea of what it is that they wanted, but it didn't always turn out the way that they wanted. You know, so, but they still stayed true to themselves, you know, and who they were, right? So anyways, guys, I gotta head out. Shout out to everybody here. WSR. Shout out to Gigi Gemming, Himanshu, and Noah Hayes. All right, guys, I'm out today. I'll see you guys again